What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title, we're going to be building a budget gaming PC today, and I say budget in air quotes because if you've been trying to piece together a PC in the last few months, you know that finding parts is hard, and also prices are up there for a lot of the components. So budget PC is kind of subjective right now. Like, this is a $600 build that's probably more in the $500 market when things are kind of normal. But we'll be building this budget gaming PC for my wife, who doesn't actually play games. The story is that her laptop recently died and she doesn't use it as a laptop, so I figured this would be a good time to build a gaming PC, even though she doesn't use it for gaming. But building a desktop PC, and it'd be a good way to make a budget gaming PC and do a video on it, and we'll also do some benchmarking at the end. The other thing that's nice about this is that with this specific build, we do have some room for improvement. We can upgrade the processor, memory, and GPU down the road if we ever needed to, so hopefully this machine is going to last us quite a long time. Alright, so now I'm going to do the one-handed YouTuber PC build, and I'll talk about all the parts as we start building it. Starting off, we've got our ASRock B450M Pro 4 motherboard. A bunch of parts and whatnot. Book that we'll never look at. Never built a PC one-handed before, so this should be fun. Come on, box, just close. Hey, there we go. Let's see if we can get this out of the package without dropping it. Okay, this is not going to work. Okay, so motherboard out. We got our PCIe slots, our memory, CPU. We're all looking good here. So let's slap the processor in there. Alright, so here we've got our Ryzen 5 1600, and I chose this over the Ryzen 3 3100. The 3100 does have a little bit better core performance, but this one has 2 extra cores, and figured I can utilize this processor in the future if we ever upgrade and I want to do some other projects. So I went with the 6 core. Also comes with the cooler, no RGB on the cooler, but that's a cooler and it works, so I'm happy with that. This is also going to be I'm gonna have to take those brackets off, aren't I? Okay. Well, can't do that on camera with one hand, so let's get that done. Okay, brackets out. Let's see how we fit this in. Okay, that looks like it should fit in that spot. Just gotta tighten down the screws. So cooler is attached, and before anybody gives me a hard time about not using any thermal compound, there's already a thermal pad on the bottom of that. Let's plug in our fan here, and I'll keep an eye on the temps when I'm doing benchmarking and stuff like that, and if the temps don't look good, we'll put some thermal compound on there. So next, let's take a look at the memory. So next up is the G.SKILL Trident Z Neo. So this is RGB, 3600 megahertz DDR4 memory. We have 16 gigs going in. Trying to go in. And I spent a little bit more on this memory because I had two orders that were canceled on me. So normally, if you're on a budget and you're not under a time crunch, which, I'm a little bit under a time crunch because my wife doesn't have a good machine right now, so you could save some money. 3600 might also be overkill 3600 megahertz might also be overkill for this build, but I think that's in there. And so you know, you could probably go to like 3200 and save some money there, but this is what I decided to go with. That looks good. Let's get the M2 drive in there. All right, so up next is the 256 gigabytes XPG M2 drive, and I will say that you know, if you are color coordinating, maybe not the best drive to go with. Come on, are you in? There we go, it is. But for the price and all that good stuff, I'm trying to balance the camera. Okay, I'm screwing this down off camera. Okay, so screw is in now. Anyway, what I was saying is 256 gig NVMe, and it is a good budget drive for like your operating system. You know, again, it's only 256 gigs, so you'll be able to get some games on there, but if you're playing anything like Call of Duty or anything like that, you're probably going to want to go to like a 2.5 inch SSD, because, you know, that won't hold a lot. So yeah, solid state. Okay, so now I think everything else looks good, at least on the board. So I'm gonna get the case together, or case out of the box I should say, and we'll get the power supply installed in there, and get the board installed in the case, and then we'll put in the GPU. So here we have the DIYPC case. It is just a weird model number. It's a S2W RGB. It comes in white and black. I opted for white. I just think it looks better. It's got this LED strip in the front, or RGB strip in the front. It's got tempered glass on the side, and the back of the case is black. Not really a whole lot to it, but it'll give us a reasonably priced case with some RGB, and we can build our PC out in here. So I've got the side off the case here, and I've also got the back side off the case there, because we'll need to get access to that. If I spin it around here, we can see where the power supply is going to go. So we're going to get that mounted in there, and for the power supply, we've got a 500 watt Seasonic 80 plus bronze, and this will be more than enough to power this thing. So pretty decent power supply, I guess. It's got some nice braided cables, well, for some of them, about half of them. I think the SATA cables here are not, but you know, otherwise pretty nice looking PSU. So let's get that thing mounted. Power supply is in, so now we can go ahead and toss this backplate on, and or I can just throw away. Toss the backplate on, and then it looks like this already has the standoffs for the motherboard. Why are you being so difficult? There we go. Yeah, so this already has the you know, standoffs, so should be able to just drop our motherboard in, and that looks a little, there we go. Now it's all the way in. Okay, so yeah, we should be able just to line it up and make sure that's all good. Let's get that motherboard. Should be able to go like that. Okay. And looks like we could use a couple more standoffs at the bottom. So let's do that. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll put in a couple more. The standoffs are in, and I did already screw the motherboard down, so we're good there, nice and solid. And then I also popped out these little tabs in the back here, so you can see them right here. I popped them out just so we could you know, install our graphics card, which brings us to this bad boy. This is a Asus, I gotta make sure I get this right, GTX 1050 Ti. I would have gone with something else, like a, what is it, like a 1650 or something like that, but the prices are just not good right now. So I did end up going with this, but it would not have been my first choice. But here we are. So that's obviously pretty easy to install. We'll hook up power and stuff when we do rest of it. Oh, actually, this doesn't even have a power connector on it. Ha! It's the first time I'm like actually seeing one of these in person, so that's funny. We don't even need that extra power. So cool. We'll get this screwed in, and this one was already popped out or like non-existent, so I don't know why that is. Kind of bummed about that, but anyway, yeah, we'll get this screwed in, get this little cage thing back over here, and hook up all our wires, and then we're ready to start it up, I guess. Alright, so here is our gaming PC. As you can see, we've got the RGB lighting up front. And if we come around to the side, we've got the RGB RAM, which is the only other RGB. I mean, you can see the light strip in there, the LED strip, so I mean, there is some LED RGB in the case, but not a whole lot. And that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. So yeah, everything's looking good. At this point, the only thing left to do is put the side panel on, which I'm gonna do right now. And then, of course, I have to get Windows installed and install some games and do those benchmarks. But since you don't have to watch me do any of that, I'm gonna put the benchmarks up on the screen now, and we'll see how this thing runs. That's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, head on down to the comments below, or take a look at the description where I have all the parts listed. And if you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up or hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.